Welcome and good morning. This is WNBA Updates, and I'm Alina. Our top story today: Caitlin Clark has spoken out after the Indiana Fever were hit with devastating injury news that has shaken the team just weeks before the playoffs. Her three-word reaction says everything about the bond in this locker room and the adversity the team now faces. The Indiana Fever's injury woes went from bad to worse during their recent matchup against the Phoenix Mercury. Not only did Indiana fall 95-60 on the scoreboard, but the team also suffered a double blow to its backcourt depth. Veteran guard Sydney Colson and dynamic playmaker Aari McDonald were both forced to leave the game with serious injuries, and by the following day the team confirmed that each would miss the remainder of the season. Colson's injury came early, just minutes into the contest. She suffered a non-contact tear of the ACL in her left knee, collapsing to the floor before being helped off by trainers. At 35 years old, and in her 11th WNBA season, Colson had been providing the Fever with veteran stability off the bench, averaging 2.4 points and 2.0 assists per game while appearing in 30 contests this season. Her leadership in the locker room had been a steadying influence, and her absence will be felt just as much off the court as on it. McDonald's injury happened in the fourth quarter. Driving to the basket, she landed awkwardly, immediately grimacing in pain and clutching her foot. Medical evaluations revealed a broken right foot, ending what had been a productive stretch for the 26-year-old guard. Since joining the Fever earlier this year, McDonald had been one of the team's brightest sparks, averaging 9.8 points, 4.7 assists, and 1.3 steals per game across 20 appearances, including 13 starts. Her quickness, defensive pressure, and ability to push the pace were vital components of Indiana's game plan. The news hit the Fever's fan base and locker room hard. And for Caitlin Clark, the team's marquee rookie and one of the league's most recognizable faces, the moment called for a show of support. Shortly after the team's official announcement, Clark shared the injury update graphic to her Instagram story and simply wrote 3 words: "Love you guys." It was a brief but heartfelt message, reflecting both her closeness with her teammates and the solidarity she feels despite being sidelined herself. That's right, Clark, too, remains out of action. She has been dealing with a lingering groin injury, the latest in a frustrating series of setbacks during her first WNBA season. After missing time earlier in the year with a quadricep strain, Clark returned to the lineup in July, only to re-aggravate the groin injury shortly after. She's now missed 9 straight games, with no firm timeline for her return. The combined loss of Colson, McDonald, and Clark leaves the Fever with a massive hole at point guard. As of today, the team has no healthy, true point guards on its roster. Head coach Christy Sides acknowledged the severity of the situation in post-game comments, saying, "This is the reality we're facing. We have to be creative, and we have to be ready to battle with whoever we've got." Despite the challenges, Indiana still holds a 17-14 record and sits 5th in the WNBA standings, keeping them in playoff position. The problem now is roster depth. League rules allow for a hardship exception if a team's available players fall below 10. The Fever are expected to apply for such an exception, which would allow them to sign a replacement guard. However, that process won't be completed before their next game against the Chicago Sky, meaning they'll head into that contest with just 9 active players. Possible replacements have already become a topic of discussion among fans and analysts. One name that's been floated is veteran Odyssey Sims, who was recently waived by the Los Angeles Sparks. Sims has experience, scoring ability, and leadership qualities that could be invaluable during this stretch. Other available free agents may also be considered as Indiana scrambles to fill the gap. For Clark, watching from the sidelines has been an emotional challenge. She recently opened up on the Bird's Eye View podcast about the frustration of dealing with injuries for the first time in her career. She described the uncertainty, the day-to-day management of pain and rehab, and the emotional toll of not being able to contribute on the court. Still, she expressed gratitude for the perspective she's gained, noting that the experience has given her a deeper appreciation for the game and for her teammates. Now, those teammates face an uphill battle. Without their starting point guard, their top backup, and a veteran floor general, the Fever will have to rely heavily on off-ball guards like Kelsey Mitchell and wing players like Nalissa Smith to initiate offense. It's likely that ball handling duties will be shared among multiple players, at least until reinforcements arrive. The timing couldn't be more challenging. The Fever are entering a crucial part of their schedule, with the playoffs just around the corner and little margin for error in the standings. Every game matters, and every possession will be magnified. Off the court, the Fever are also navigating heightened scrutiny around player safety. In recent weeks, WNBA games have been disrupted by objects, including adult items, being thrown onto the court. One such incident involved Fever guard Sophie Cunningham being struck, prompting the league to review and strengthen arena security protocols. While unrelated to the injury crisis, the added distractions only compound the team's turbulent month. For Fever fans, the hope is that Clark can return before the postseason begins. Her vision, scoring ability, and floor leadership are irreplaceable, and her presence could give Indiana the boost they need to contend with the league's elite. But given her injury history this year, the team is expected to be cautious, prioritizing her long-term health over short-term urgency. Until then, Clark's role will be to lead in a different way from the bench, in the locker room, and on social media. Her "love you guys" message may have been short, but it carried the weight of someone who understands the grind of a long season, the heartbreak of seeing teammates fall, and the importance of unity in tough times. As the Fever prepare for their next matchup, the challenges ahead are clear. Play with a shortened rotation, keep morale high, and find a way to stay in the win column until reinforcements arrive. For a team that's been resilient all season, this may be their toughest test yet. In the coming days, expect Indiana's front office to act quickly in finding a temporary solution at point guard. Expect coach sides to adjust game plans to suit the available personnel. And expect Caitlin Clark, whether in uniform or in street clothes, to remain a central figure, both as the face of the franchise and as a vocal supporter of the teammates she cares so deeply about. For now, the Fever's playoff hopes remain alive, but the margin for error is razor-thin. Every game from here on out will shape their destiny, and every player on the roster will be called upon to do more than ever before. This has been WNBA Updates. I'm Alina, and we'll continue to follow the Indiana Fever's injury situation, roster moves, and playoff push in the days ahead. Stay tuned for more updates and analysis as this story develops.